RPA Champions. In today's live stream, we are going to be automating Sales Navigator. We're also going to be using Microsoft Power Automate Desktop, the enterprise version, or the version that you can get with your company that allows you some premium features such as work queues and other things like that. Let's see if I can see them right here, see more actions. So what are we going to be doing? We are going to be automating Sales Navigator, and we're going to be creating a process that is going to automatically send messages to the leads that we identify in Microsoft Power Automate. Now, I think I have some issues with Microsoft Power Automate. It is getting stuck for me. Doesn't matter. We are going to close all of the different processes that we have, and we're going to start with a basic process that I have created, or we're just going to start from scratch. So this process is having a little bit of a hard time. So this is going to be a live, it's going to be cool because it's also going to show you live all of the ways that we can debug different things, and we're going to be also building things from the beginning, from the ground up, and seeing all of the different steps. Now, while this is loading, I can go maybe to Sales Navigator, and I can show you the process that we're going to be automating. So Sales Navigator is the LinkedIn solution that is a paid solution that is used to look for search for different leads. It gives you also the ability to send emails, send messages, and just grow your network using Sales Navigator. It is also very manual and time consuming to search for leads, to send them messages, and so forth. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator should actually have the ability for us to automate the boring part of connecting with everybody and sending them a message. So what are we going to be doing? What we are going to be doing is we're going to be going to the search for different filters on Sales Navigator. After that, we are going to be clicking on this button right here and then clicking on connect. Then we're going to add a message and send the invitation. So the idea is to have a process like this that runs for us every single day at a specific time, and that does basically lead generation for us using Sales Navigator platform. All right, so to start things off and to kind of save a little bit of time, let's see if we can use this. Yeah, we can use this process. I already have a little process that we're gonna see what it does. I think it's just a basic configuration. We're gonna fine tune it. We're going to fix it. We're going to debug it, and we're going to basically make it work. So let's see what it does. So it opens this page from Sales Navigator. And by the way, I want to thank all of the supporters of the RPA Champion channel. Without you, this channel would not exist. We are reaching 10,000 subscribers. It is incredible. I would never have believed that people were interested in automation, and especially in Power Automate and this kind of automations that I do. So thank you so much for this, and let's see this automation in progress. If you have any questions, this is a live stream. Please drop them down in the messages. All right, and I'll try to answer. Also, I am doing this automation because one of you has requested for this automation, and I thought it was also useful for myself, and I decided to create a live stream to show you how we're gonna do this live. So I think this has worked so far, but it's just working on one person. So what we have to do, so here we have sending a message. So what we have to do is we have to repeat this process. Let's just walk through this very quickly. So what we are doing is we are opening a LinkedIn link. So instead of using Power Automate to actually click on all of the different filters that we have here, we're just going to get this link right here and normalize this link because it's going to be in a format that Power Automate doesn't support. So that is going to save us already already a couple of steps. Let's close this action from Power Automate. Let's minimize this and this and this. And let's try to get rid of this flow that doesn't want to leave our page. Doesn't matter. Anyways. All right. So what is the next step? So after that, we're going to be waiting for 5 seconds. Then we're going to click on the next button. If we click in the UI elements, we can see what the next button is. So right here, it is still loading. It is going a little bit slow. So it is this next button right here. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to click on all the way down. So I don't think this is correct. So let's see right here what we are using. What is the web selector? So div search results. So I think is this one. All right. So, okay. So we click inside of the container on Sales Navigator. Why are we doing this? So to scroll down and to load all of the different elements inside into view, we have to click somewhere in this element. After that, we send some keystrokes. Right here, we send some keystrokes and we scroll all the way down. After that, we extract the data. Let's see if we manage to extract everything. We managed to extract all of the different people with their profile. That's great. We can use this at a later moment. And after that, we click on the SVG. So now this is going to be the interesting and tricky part. So we click on this first one and we click on pending. So what do we have to do next? We have to click on the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, for all of the ones that we have on this page and connect to all of them. And after that, we are going to go to the other pages as well. So I think that's what's missing inside of this process. So let's add these other steps. Let's add one more step for debugging. So once we reach this page or this part right here, we connect, we add the text. We also want to click on the cancel for right now, just to test our automation and see that it's working before we can actually try it out and have it work. So let's just add another click link on web page. We can do that with Control-C and click all the way at the end, and Control-V. We're going to add a new click. Let's add a new UI element, and we are going to select the cancel button right here. This button right here, we're going to control and click, and this is going to add the new selector. We have to fine tune our selector. So let's look for where our selector was created. This button cancel right here. If we go here, we see that this ID is not really what we want, but the button cancel is probably going to be the only button on the page. So what we can do is just remove the ID from right here and save this. Let's save our automation and see if everything is working. So we do have another automation that is the same process, that is open and it's pending. So let's see if this is going to work and yeah, save our flow without too many issues. So the next step that while that is saving, the next step that we have to do is we have to try to find this selector and click first on the first one, and then on the second one, and then on the third one. And we have to do this in a dynamic way, in the same way that, or in the same number of times that there is people on this page. Now I already extracted all of their profiles and the links to all of their profiles, so we could theoretically also visit their profile or go to the link of their profile, click on the message button or on the connect button that we could potentially see here. However, I think that this is the fastest way. Remember, with automation, there's always different ways of doing the same thing. All right, so this worked. It has saved our automation. We click on the cancel. The next thing that we have to do is we have to add a loop that is going to repeat this action a number of times that we have people on our page. So let's do exactly that. So we're going to add a loop. We're going to add a for each loop, or actually we're going to add just a normal loop. We're going to add this loop after we extract the people from the page. We're going to start at 0, and we're going to use a dynamic variable. Go to the data from web page, open this, and add the row count. So this is going to count how many people we are going to extract and repeat this action, that number of people. Let's add the number 1 in here, and now we have ourselves a loop, moving the end part all the way until the end, and that should pretty much do everything. The last thing that we have to do is we have to fine-tune our selector, our button connect. So to do that, we see here that we are always going to be selecting the same selector right here, but we have to make this dynamic. How are we going to make this dynamic? We are going to add a dynamic variable that is going to change and make us click on a different button every time. So this is going to take a little bit of playing around to figure out what is the right selector to use. So I don't think this is the right selector, but we have to play around with this. And first of all, let's test it out and see what we get. So Sales Navigator, let's see if, all right, we're getting this selector right here with this configuration. Now if we change this ordinal right here and we put it, for example, to 2, let's see what is going to happen. So if we manage to figure out that this, okay, so it's going to the one below, but I changed too many steps. So I don't think it's this ordinal. Why? Because if I select now 3, I think it's going to be the button right next to it. So let's see if that happens. Yes, it's the button right next to it. And what we want to do is just select each button in each row. So it's not this ordinal right here. It's probably the list item. Let's try like this and see what happens like this. So this is selecting the second one. Let's see if we select the third one. And let's see if this is going to select. No, this is giving us a error, so we're not going to be using that. We could try to use this button right here and the ordinal of this button. So let's test this and see what happens. Alternatively, okay, so this is still selecting that button over there. So that is not the best selector. We can unselect this. Let's test this out again, see if this is still working. Okay, so this is not working. We have to select the class of this button one more time and scroll more up inside of these selectors. So let's try with the UL with this one right here, and let's select maybe number 3. So once we figure this out, this is kind of the most difficult part. So this is working 0, 1, 2, 3. I think this is working. Now we can maybe remove some of these selectors that we might not need. So for example, maybe I can just remove this. Let's see if that is going to work, making it a little bit easier. So that works as well. So what if I also remove this class right here? Will it still work? Perfect, that still works. So I'm trying to simplify the selector, and that is really important. That is, I think, the key and the most important part of all of this is how to simplify this selector and make it the best selector possible. Now I can see that here I'm having a issue with not identifying more than one selector. So let's see if that issue is going to be resolved. No, I think we can try using it like this. And now let's add a dynamic variable right here. So this is going to be the most important part. In the text editor, we're going to remove this number right here, and we're going to add the loop index. So let's save this And that should pretty much be it. We should also add another on error kind of thing. So if something happens in this connect button and there is no connect button for whatever reason, we are just going to do something else. So for example, to do that, we are going to do a very simple solution. We are going to add a label, and this label is going to allow us to skip all the way to the end. So in here, we're going to call this skip and save this. In this action right here, we're going to go to the on error, and this is going to allow us to manage what happens in case there is a error on this flow. So I'm going to go to continue flow run and go to label, skip, go to skip and save. So with this setup like this is going to work pretty much all of the time, I think. Let's click on this, do the same for this in case we have an issue on here as well. So right here on the cancel, we're going to leave this cancel, and let's try our automation. Now, in just a couple of minutes, we went from no automation to a very cool and complex automation. Now let's see if this is going to work. So it's opening Sales Navigator like it did last time. Now it should go to the, it should scroll down so it can load all of the different contacts into view. So once all of the contacts have been loaded into view, now you can use them for whatever purpose. And we also have the number of contacts that we have loaded. So it's clicking on the first one. It doesn't find anything. So in theory, it should skip and click on the next one. I'm going to help it a little bit, just unclick there. So let's see if it's going to work for this one. So this person is asking for an email, but we are going to be just clicking on cancel. So, hey, nice to meet you. It's putting our message, and a good evolution to this would be to create a little bit of a more intelligent message with AI. And we could easily do this with AI. We could just get the context that we see in here that we have scraped, pass that information to the AI, and have them send a dynamic smart message to each one of these person, a message that is not hard-coded like I'm doing right now. So this seems to be working. Let's see if it's going to work for a few more use cases, and then we're going to try to resolve some debugging or some issues that we might have. So for example, I think that, all right, let's see it send a fake message to this person as well. Okay, cool. So this is working just fine. Now we can we can actually stop our automation and save it. Now, just to restate how important it is nowadays to learn how to use AI to your advantages and to automate your own processes and get a competitive advantage. So I'm inviting you all to kind of start learning a lot about this, not just about Microsoft Power Automate Desktop, but about all other technologies that involve AI in automating your tasks and activities. All right, let's run this one more time just to see that it is working fine. And also let's see if it's going to break on the first connection where we have a pending request. So on the first connection, we have a pending request. Let's see if we can okay, so we are scrolling all the way down. Now we should go to the first one. Now it's not going to find the connection, and it should skip into the next and click on the next item. However, I think it just clicked on edit list, which is wrong. So we have to manage for this case, or this exception right here. So what do we do? So whatever, I mean, it went on and skipped a couple of things. It clicked on the next one. Now it's going to pick itself up, but it skipped a few. So we can actually leave this like this, I mean, it is working. If it skips one or two connection, who actually cares? I mean, it's not a big deal when we're dealing with big numbers. But we can also see if we can kind of minimize this issue, and also if we can make this message a little bit smarter. Meaning, right now the message is very basic. It's just hey, nice to meet you, and it's always going to be hard coded. But it would be great if we could have a message that is not just hard coded, a message that is AI generated. This would make this process quite complete. And also the other thing that is missing from here is to go to the next page. Meaning right now we are on page 1, but we want to go to page 2 and so on. So I think that would be actually the first thing that we should do, because right now we're going to complete kind of everything that is on this page. After that, what we want to do is just start from page 2, go to page 3, go to page 4, and do it for as many pages as we want. We don't want to do it for all of the pages that are there. That would flag different flags to LinkedIn saying that we are scraping information and so on. All right, so this is working just fine, so I can interrupt it, close it, and stop it right here. So what do we have to do? We have to repeat these actions on the next page. So once we navigate to this page right here, let's see what happens when we go to the page, to the following page. Okay, just a second. All right, we are back in action. So what do we have to do? We have to click on page 2, and let's go inside of our link and see if something has changed. So there is different ways that we can do this. We can try to add inside of our automation a functionality that clicks on the next or clicks on the number 2. Or from my experience, I know that there's going to be this right here that says page 2. Now, if we change this, we're going to cycle through all of the different pages that are there. So inside of our automation, we are going to add exactly that. So in here, we see that there is this query thing. We're going to add this page 2, and this is going to allow us to go to another page. Now, before we need this to be a variable, so we need to decide on what is this value going to be. So to do that, we're just going to set a variable and type set variable to look for the action that is going to allow us to set a new variable, and we're going to call this page number. We're going to try to use some meaningful names so that we don't get confused. And we're going to put page 1 right there. In here, we're going to change this. We're going to change this value to the page number. Now, I will actually do this in a different way. We're going to add a loop. A loop is going to allow us to repeat all of the actions that we want. So we are going to add a loop right after we go to this page. So the loop is going to start from 0, and it's going to end at, let's decide here the page number. We're going to use the page number variable and increment by 1. The page number variable is going to be 3 in this case. And right here, we're going to remove this because we don't need this value here anymore, but we do need this link. So we're going to go to page 1, starting at page 1, just like this. Save this, and inside of this loop, we're going to add another action that is going to allow us to navigate to another, or go to go to another web page. So with this go to action, we're going to navigate to this link. We're going to have this variable right here changed to the loop index number 2. Again, here we should have used some meaningful naming, and after that we can repeat all of these actions again, meaning we can take this and move it all the way to the end. And let's just kind of walk through this and understand what have we just built. We should usually kind of test our automation every step of the way, but it doesn't matter. We have added a few actions because we are pretty sure of what they are doing. So we're going to start by setting the number of pages that we want to visit or that we want to send messages. 3, every page is going to have around 25 people, so there's going to be 75 messages. We are going to start from page 0, or let's start from page 1, I think we should start. And we're going to go to page 1, and then we're going to scroll down, wait 5 seconds, scroll down, click in the browser, scroll down, wait for 5 seconds, extract everybody from the page, send everybody a message. Once that is done sending everybody a message, we are going to repeat this loop, go to page 2 theoretically, that's the idea, and repeat everything once again. All right, let's give this a try and see if it's working or not. So once this is done, the next thing would be to, all right, so right here we have gone to a wrong page. So I think the filters that we used were wrong. So we have to change those filters. So let's go back and change those filters. We have used a bad URL. I should have checked this previously, previous to this. So let's remove this that we have added, and let's try fixing the URL. So fixing the URL, navigating via the URL is going to save us quite a few actions in kind of clicking. So if we can do it via the URL, that would be much better. All right, so let's go back down to right here, click on number 2 and get this people page. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to ask it to normalize this URL. So it's also good to use a combination of different tools when doing things nowadays. So ChatGPT, also the models are pretty weak, but I think it can get the job done for this. So I have already asked it to do something like this previously. What doesn't matter, I'll ask it again. You are a Microsoft Power Automate developer for desktop. I need you to normalize this link so I can open it with browser action. All right, so we asked it to normalize the link. We should have maybe asked it to decode it, but let's see what it gives us. Page 2. All right, let's copy this. Let's just try it inside of Sales Navigator to see if it works. Seems like it's working, and if we scroll all the way down, I mean, this is so cool. It is working, it is done. I mean, our automation is pretty much complete. So we are going to add this in here, change it to page 1, and remember that all of this code I will be sharing it on the Discord channel for anybody that needs to use it inside of their automation. You would obviously have to watch the video to know how to fine-tune it and customize it for your own needs, or also feel free to send me an email or plan a meeting with me if you need some information on how to set this up for yourself. All right, so loop index is going to change. We have this. We just have to change this link right here as well. So instead of this 2 right here, we are going to add a loop index of 2, save it. And one thing that is missing is a little bit of more meaningful names in our variables, but let's run this automation and let's see it in action. So last thing that actually remains inside of this automation is to make it a little bit smarter, meaning to add a little bit of AI to and also a little bit of debugging, and that's kind of the most time-consuming part, is to add the debugging part to make sure that all of these different actions work. All right, so it seems like it's working. It went to page 1, great, and now it should repeat all of the steps that we asked it to do previously. So it should scroll back, it should go back up to the first action. It's pending, so we see that, yeah, this is one of the debugging things that we could potentially add in, or we could just skip it. If we skip it, it is going to mess up a little bit, meaning, well, not mess up a little bit. Also, if we reduce the zoom of the page, and that could actually fix this issue already. But I mean, it's not a big deal because it continues, it just skips one and then it goes to the other ones and it connects with the other ones. So it skips the following 2 if there is an issue. Why? Because it's clicking in the different parts, and yeah, and it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal because we're doing this massively. So let's add now maybe an AI message to this and see if we can make it a little bit smarter. So Microsoft Power Automate Desktop doesn't allow you to use ChatGPT integration yet. They have a functionality that is on the way, that is in trial or in test mode if you are in the United States or if you are part of the program. But for everybody else that doesn't have this functionality, we have to make a call to ChatGPT using a little bit of a different approach. So this message is pretty silly, so we don't want this message. We want something a little bit more meaningful. All right, so let's interrupt our automation. Our automation so far is working just fine. Let's save it, make sure that everything is not going to get lost. And now let's think about how we could add a little bit of AI to make this automation smarter. So we are asking it, we are going to this person right here, and this is what we can see from them. This is what we can see from them. So we can see shared groups. We can see their recent posts, so we could actually also go and post on their go and comment on their posts directly from here with a different automation. So that is very cool. Sales Navigator has a lot of cool functionalities that I think should be all automated with an AI agent. And why we don't have an AI agent inside of Sales Navigator, I think it will be coming. They have to make it. Maybe it defines the purposes of kind of networking. But I mean, networking only becomes important once we connect with the right people. So if we spend a lot of time on sending just messages manually, that's a highly manual, repetitive thing. So why should not an AI agent do it for us? And yeah, LinkedIn should include this, but whatever. Until they include it, we are going to automate things our way using automation. All right, so to make this smarter, I think what we should do is we should get the name, their location, and let's see inside of our process what kind of things that we are getting already. So in here we see that we are getting already the name, the role, the location, the company they work for, and and their profile. Now we want to get one more thing, and that is the description of their profile. And with all of that information, we're going to use all of that for AI to give us a little bit of a better review. However, I will be pausing this video right here, and we're going to be continuing from where we left off tomorrow, more or less at the same time. I will be scheduling another live session that is going to show you how to complete this process and how to add AI inside of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, do so down below. Leave me your comments. Also tell me what kind of processes you would like to see automated. And if you need help with your automation, you know that you can contact the RPA Champion. Thank you so much for watching, and